I'm really grateful that you've let us in. Thank you guys all for coming too. So rig one down, big day for PRS here. This is the classic guitar, but you've been using another guitar as well from PRS as part of the rig. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, where is that guitar? Hey Frost, do you have the Stella? Yeah, no, Stella is, you know, I went up to design a guitar with Paul Reed Smith, and kind of as a concept over the phone. He's like, you know what, Mark, you come up to the factory and I promise you I'll design a guitar with you. So we, you know, he put a, you know, kind of a roundabout design of what the guitar was on the board, and I said, why don't we change this, why don't we change that? He just hands me the pen and I'm drawing it and he's drawing it, and within, you know, here it is, came up with this shape. And after another, I don't know, 20 minutes, one of his wizard engineers goes back into his computer and pulls up a 3D image of this thing, so you could rotisserie it around and mess with all the contours and just get it just right. But this was done in just one day, you know. So I mean, it took months to make, but the design was done in one day. But it's one of my favorite guitars. People ask me where you can get it. You can't get it. Is the answer. Not yet, unless this becomes a viral YouTube clip and everybody asks for it. Maybe
should we do a poll? How many guitar players are there that are doing this rig rundown thing here? Do we like this guitar?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You like this one? You like this one more? Yeah.
Did you, when you were growing up, did you have guitar players that you wanted to be that played like a Mockingbird kind of vibe or something a little bit more like that?
More like, you know, Hetfield doing his Explorer or something like that, you know. I like all kinds, but I always thought the Explorer was a really cool shape, and this is kind of like a, you know, a roundabout version of an Explorer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So why don't we, to keep everybody happy, why don't we take a look back at the regular Tremonti? Mm-hmm. Tell us again, this is kind of based around the single cut PRS kind of idea, but what is it that you've given it your own sort of, you know, special sauce to?
Mainly the neck carve, and the pickups. The body style is kind of hard to break away too much from a single cutaway. So with that, you know, first we tackled just the contour here and some of the, you know, the contouring on top and in the back. It's just, it's a little more, in my opinion, a little more comfortable than an average standard Les Paul, which is I grew up on. So there's no dig on a Les Paul, because I think they're one of the best guitars in the world. But this was just kind of our version of the single cutaway body style. The neck carve is a wide, it's like it's not as fat as some of the PRS necks, but it's not as skinny as some of the more shreddier kind of guitars. It's somewhere in the middle, which I like. I kind of grew up on that style. But the pickup, we went through maybe 12 pickup designs, and we pretty much went with one of the hottest pickups that they made. You know, so there was at the time there was no pickup at PRS that had that kind of attack. You know, so everything. Paul at Paul Reed Smith is very much into what he likes. You know, so he's a blues guy. He grew up on the blues and played the blues and loves blues players. So his pickups were more round sounding, and I wanted something that could do the percussive thing. So he sent us out just a dozen pickups. We went one by one and found this one. And at first I thought it was a little too bright, and my sound engineer came up. He's like, you know what, that pickup sounds great. Let's just tweak your tone a little bit up here. And that's what we did, and I'm glad we did, because it was, as a young man back there, I wouldn't have had the sight to know that this was gonna live for the next 20 years. And
is it 20 years now?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's kind of cool, because that leads me into the next one. Although you've been predominantly PRS for 20 years on the guitar front, you've got a ton of different amps that you use backline wise. So what's come out for this tour? So
right now my rig is pretty much 2 half stacks. On the top there is a Revision F rectifier. Revision F is I believe it's between serial numbers 500 and 1500 of the rectifiers, and it's my favorite voicing. You know, that's the one I hunt down all the time. If I see a Revision F on Reverb, it's hard for me not to buy it now, kind of a thing, because they're just not making it. I think I had a different transformer that you can't get anymore, and it's just a great sounding head. So keep an eye out. You can always tell because they have the blue light on there, and it's got the silver plate on the bottom and the black metal plate on top. It's kind of what you look for if you're looking for one. It's loaded with 6L6s. It's 100 watts. The amp underneath it is a PRS Archon. That's just an Archon off the shelf. It's another 6L6 based 100 watt amp. I'm a 6L6 guy, you know. That's pretty much it. I'm 2 half stacks at all times. I'm a big believer in finding 2 amps that do something good and then putting them together to make something great. You know, if I just played the Revision F, I wouldn't like it. It's a little too harsh for me. I need something to warm out the sound, so that Archon gives it the warmth. The cabinets are vintage 30s, Celestion vintage 30s always. It's been my favorite speaker since I was a kid. The 2 boxes on top of the cabinets are aux boxes, which, you know, they're cabinet simulators, attenuators, a bunch of, you know, they look very simple, but you can really dial them in.
Are you using them as attenuators or just straight as load boxes and then into the PA?
Attenuators.
Right.
That's all I'm using them for. I'm not even using them as direct. I'm using.
Oh, so the sound guys are still going to mic the cabs up, are they?
No, we go Palmer direct out to the to the front of the house. Yeah. We just haven't had time. You know, we got on tour and we figured we'd have time to really tweak them, but every day is kind of hectic, so we haven't dialed them in.
We're
too
using
much.
the aux almost exclusively now.
Yeah.
For it. It's a killer piece of kit. I think once you find that setting, it's a killer piece of kit.
My producer loved it. Miles uses it. But I use it for this rig just so I can take that preamp section of my tubes and soak them to the perfect tone, and then I can attenuate the volume down so these people aren't getting killed with just my guitars. You know, because we're not always playing the O2. Sometimes we're playing a smaller House of Blues or something, and these people are going to get all guitars if I can't turn my stuff down.
I've always wondered, you know, how loud do you get to play as loud as you really want to on a tour like this, or is it always a compromise? It's
down because I am on in-ears now.
Right.
You know, so you see how I have the cymbals there with the shields in front of them. Miles takes great care of his voice, so he sings very quietly. So when you have to feed a signal through the mic, his mic is turned up so loud because he sings quietly that every little noise from stage is going to seep into his mic and ruin his mix. So with me on in-ears, that helps us turn the volume down. You put those in front of the cymbals. Brian is also on in-ears, so it's a very quiet stage compared to what we used to be. We used to be the loudest band in the world on stage. So it's.
Oh look, I just anything we can look at pedal wise, or even just talk about if we can't see them.
Yeah. So pedal wise, my Morley wah pedal is my. If I had to use one pedal in the world, that would be it. I could really get away with just my wah pedal at a show.
Really?
Because they have overdrive built into them, you can dial it in there with this wah boost knob.
This is your board?
This is my board.
I thought it would be way more complicated.
No,
than that.
no. I use a wah pedal, and then I go into the GCX ground control. The only real pedal that I love in there is my hand-wired tube screamer, which is just an overdrive on top of my rhythm channel. The only other 2 pedals I have is an octave pedal, which is a T-Rex octave, which I've used not once on this tour, but I love it. It's great just for fun and writing. The Univibe, I use it sometimes if I just want to mess around. It's another pedal I've probably not used on this tour. So the only pedals I've used on this tour are my wah pedal, my overdrive pedal, and the PRS Archon always has a delay in the effects loop, a G-Lab analog delay. I'm an analog through and through. I'll never use anything digital. But that's always on. And I always set it, I don't tap tempo it throughout the show. I've got a song off of our first record called Giving Up that I always think in my head. I always tap the delay to that tempo, and it works for.
Was that volume that you just played at indicative of how loud you'll be on stage?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, is it?
That's it.
That's way quieter than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Well, that's this tour. I'm a changed man. I used to be really loud.
Oh well, look, I imagine all these other guys here probably want to ask some questions, so I'm going to duck out for now, and we'll see you a bit later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But thank you very much all for listening, everyone, and enjoy. Hey guys. two for the price of one today. We just found Zach Myers as well, who are out on tour with Alter Bridge, supporting them with Shinedown.
Yes.
And we're standing in front of your rack of guitars.
We are.
So it'd be rude not to have a little look, wouldn't it?
Sure.
Is there a number one? There's a lot of guitars.
Not right now. Maybe. No, there's not really a number one in this one. There's a number one in the American rig. So what happens, what I've generally found is the things stay in the American rig for 10 years and then they migrate over here. So if there is a number one, it's been this one.
So you're over here and you just leave a set of guitars over here permanently in Europe?
Yep, these stay over here. So this is a Koa version of my signature model. It's
an SE version as well.
Yep.
I don't remember ever seeing the Koa one. I mean, I love the green
there
one.
was 25 of these.
It's super rare. Then.
Yeah. So the Brian's Guitars in the States made 25 of these, and they made a 25 of Blue Mateo.
Right.
And I got 2 of. So technically, there's 23 of each because I've got 2 of these. So this has kind of been I don't know. I like this one the most right now. What else is there?
Are you pretty unique as a sort of PRS artist in the sense of, like, are all your go-to guitars the actual SE models rather than USA made versions of them?
Well, yes and no. I have a lot of, American private stock, American SE, private stock SE. So it's a mix of both. Yeah. This is a really cool one. This is my artist rep forever was a guy named Grover at PRS, and this was the last guitar he made me before he passed away.
Oh, man.
And he put my initials in the neck here, and this is like a charcoal burstish type thing that they got going on. So
That's a great looking guitar.
It is. It's and actually the back is actually it's kind of been checked up, but the back actually has a little bit of flame to it too. It's just hard to see.
When you'd made the choice to do the semi-hollow rather than the completely solid, was that just to get the weight down for live shows? Or?
No, I had started to really enjoy the sound that it gave. It kind of boosted the low end and kind of like gave it this like mid-rangey, like it's hard to explain. So yeah, this was the original. This is the very original signature model.
Oh man!
But this is a faded blue jean version. So
like
this never came
by
out.
Nigel Tufnell or something.
In a way, it's actually the third humbucker was Ace Frehley mixed with Peter Frampton. So, and on the one in the States, I play the same literally an exact replica of this faded blue jean because it came out in this color, royal blue. We didn't release it in this color, but Peter Frampton signed the one in the States. So yeah, that's
always been one of my favorite. This and that, I'd love to see that Blue Mateo SE because I think that's probably my favorite PRS.
I don't think I have the Blue Mateo over here.
What's I love the truss rod cover on these private stocks.
Oh yeah.
Is there
So a guy in Texas made these.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
I'm not really sure.
Engraved metal.
Yeah, it's all steel, and it's the fleur-de-lis, which is on my original signature model. So.
That even looks, that's deeper. Oh, it's because it's got an arch top, isn't it? That looks deeper than the SE model, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is a private stock, yeah. So in the back, it's all flame, too. And that's been on there for a long time. I put that on there when Levon Helm died. So, and this is a custom built for me. And then, I don't have one of the Blue Mateos over here. I wish I did. I have them at home. And then this one's been around for a really long time, too. And this one's seen better days. This is 2008, so this is almost 12 years old now. But yeah, these are the best PRS pickups I think I've ever heard.
What have you got in there?
They're just they're arch top.
Oh, just whatever the stock pickups were.
Arch top 2s or whatever. And there's something about them. Actually, I kind of want to send them back to PRS and get them to kind of mimic them.
You should. Paul would love that.
Yeah.
He loves all that
and then he would mess with it.
Yeah. He'd do his new, I can't remember his new pickup thing that he's got going on where he. But
we call Paul the tinkerer. Paul likes to take something and then change. And I love Paul, but I'll text him and be like, "Hey man, what do you like?" I remember the original NF3 I have is like the best sounding guitar, PRS guitar I probably own. And then he sent me another one, and I was like, "This sounds nothing like it." But I think they ended up getting it back to kind of what I liked about the original. This is an NF3 as well. My tech's gonna kill me because I'm just junking up. Yeah, this is an NF3. But the one I have at home is that's like the prototype for the NF3, and it is spectacular, man. It was.
You're going to get through all these in one set?
Oh yeah.
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 All in the same tuning or all standard?
No. Yeah, I'm
tunings
not one of those dudes that just has a bunch of guitars in the same tuning just to have a bunch of guitars. So, standard, E, drop D, drop D, drop D. But the pickup is different. E, A, D, G, A, E.
Okay.
Drop
I
D.
thought that was 7 for a minute.
Yeah,
but
drop D, but 2 cents sharp.
Yeah.
For Devil, which is kind of how we wrote it.
That's cool, man.
Standard, C sharp, C, and then I have a Silver Sky that's right here.
Oh, okay.
And this is in a whole step down standard. So
you're doing a cover of Slow Dancing in the Burning Room?
I'm not. I would do it at soundcheck. Yeah, I do that at soundcheck. No, this is for Monsters.
That's great, man.
Yeah, I have to give this one back tonight. This was a loaner.
Oh no!
I have a white one in the States, but I got to give this one back to someone tonight.
And is this your?
That's it.
That's you. So you're using Axe effects rather than on stage guitar.
Well, we have there's cabs on stage,
but
yeah, but everything's coming here in the Fryette.
Yeah,
which is a tube.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Fryette kind of runs the tube side of it
Yeah.
and runs the cabs, which are mic'd. So it is a mix of tube and digital, but I think we're going back to all tube after this
Oh,
tour.
really?
Yeah, it's been about 5 years on this, and
Everybody does, I think, eventually. They're lured back to there's something, even if it's just in the mind.
I think it is in the mind. I can't tell you what it is, but I know that it's there. You know,
You know what you're going to go back to using, or not sure?
Probably diesels. I met with Peter
Yeah.
in Germany, and I used to use diesels a lot. So I think I can get the sound I want out of one head.
Yeah.
So literally keep it so simple, one head with a backup.
Yeah.
I think I used the Herberts forever, but I think I'm gonna maybe switch to the new VH4. It's what Miles uses, and it sounds like I can get everything I need done on that one amp. You know, I can have a great pristine clean. I can have like a medium dirty. Use the 3rd channel for the big thing, and then if I need to go nuts, use that 4th channel. But I think I can do it with that.
Well, man, you are a man after my own heart.
Thank you very much.
Anyway,
I
look,
appreciate
it's great to meet you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having
and
me.
I hope the gig's amazing. And yeah, maybe we'll catch you up a bit later, or if
For
we
sure,
don't.
absolutely.
But yeah, it's great to meet you.
Thank
Thanks
you,
a lot,
guys.
Zach.
Appreciate it.
Cheers,
Yeah.
man. We are deep in the bowels of the O2 here for the final night of the Alter Bridge tour, which is awesome. Mark here's given us a little bit of time. It's been tough to track you down today, man.
Yeah,
It's
busy times.
So is this we got here 4 or 5 hours ago, and we did the rig rundown with you. And you've been non-stop since, meeting fans, doing clinics.
Yeah.
Is that a normal gig
That's
day
my
for you?
normal day. I wake up and get right into the rig rundown, sound check, meet and greets. Today we had 200 people at the meet and greet, and then I go from the meet and greet into the guitar clinic, and then guitar clinic into hopefully dinner, and then a few interviews, and then usually I have a couple hours before the show. But I like staying busy. I don't want to sit around and play video games. And if I had 6 hours, I'd like to sit and play guitar all day long. But I do. I'm playing guitar on sound checks. I'm playing guitar in the meet and greets, and I play guitar right up until the show.
Are the rest of the band just playing computer games whilst you're doing all the heavy lifting?
Scott and Brian plays his bass a bunch. Scott kind of watches football or whatever sports are on.
Fair enough.
Miles stays quiet. He kind of does his own thing and kind of just saves his voice. Miles plays a lot of guitar, a ton of guitar. Yeah. I think he prefers guitar playing than to singing.
Yeah. And the tour, has this been, one of the biggest and best tours you've ever done? Or?
Biggest turnouts yet, yeah.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, we're every time we come to the O2, there's a new section of drape taken away, and one day we'll come here and all the drapes will be gone. It'll be the drapeless O2.
I still think it's the best venue in the UK for sound and the vibe, the lights, everything. Cool.
That's awesome.
No, that's cool. So you're flying back to Detroit tomorrow?
To Orlando tomorrow.
Oh, Orlando.
Yeah. I grew up in Detroit, but
Okay.
I live in Florida now.
Are you gone with the sunshine, have you?
Yeah, man. 6 weeks over here with no sunshine gets me.
bet.
Today it was actually sunny. I couldn't believe it. I'm like,
Yes.
am I in London in December?
It's not great though, is it, at the moment? So have you done all your Christmas shopping?
I did. Every day off on this tour, I would hit the street and just buy and ship home. Yeah.
What are you hoping that you've got? What is Santa bringing you?
You know what? One thing that I want that I'm not getting because I didn't ask my wife for it. I want that Tonewood amp. I want that acoustic amp. It's cool, right?
Yeah, we tried. I don't want. There's a certain guitar brand that have done their own one where it's pre-fitted. Anyway, I thought that was kind of cool, and then I tried the Tonewood one, and it's just infinitely better.
Cool.
So you can fit it to anything.
It's like $300 or something, right?
Yeah. And the worst thing about it is you'll never want to play acoustic without it again.
Yeah.
It's just.
Oh yeah. I want anything that will inspire me to write. You know.
Come on, it's not too late, Santa. You know what to get, Mark.
Oh yeah.
So I know the last time we saw it, NAMM last year, it was off the back of a crazy launch of that. The MT15 had been out about a year, and we'd sold tons and tons of them, and still do. But you were kind of keen that Paul would make you something that you could tour with as well as use as a home use. Has that progressed at all?
Yeah, we've gone through maybe 4 versions of it so far.
Awesome.
We got. Thank God we have the tones. The tones are there. But when I hooked up the last version to in a room and really turned it up through a 412 cabinet, it just wasn't pushing the air. I want somebody to plug that thing and have it just push so much air that's. I want it to be the bully of amps, but also beautiful at the same time.
Yeah.
So, when I said this last round, they sent me another one. Since I said that, they put this massive transformer in it. And power transformer, and now it kicks like a mule, but now it's a little, it was a little noisy. I wanted to be able to turn it down to bedroom level and have it be dead quiet. So, but the clean channel is the best clean channel I think I've ever heard. I mean, it's incredible. I took it in the studio with my producer who was recording the Seven Dust record. I went there, I said, I want to see what you think of this in the studio, because he's the best ears in the world. Right. And immediately the cleans, everybody's jaws were on the floor, and they recorded the whole record with that and a few other amps, but that was made its debut on their record. But anyways, I said my only complaint with this version is when I get it down to bedroom level. That being said, it gets quieter than the MT15. The MT15 it has almost like a on-off at a certain at a certain level where I want to get even quieter. Say I'm in a hotel room or something, I got to get it really quiet. The MT100 gets quieter, but it had a little bit of a hum to it. So I said, I love it. Please do me a favor and isolate all the circuits and make this thing quiet. Make believe there's a baby sleep in the room. I want it to be dead quiet. So he's like, that's easy. We're just throwing these things together to get the tones. As far as doing that kind of stuff, now we can really make sure it's laid out. Because a lot of that's just hand wired real quick and thrown together. Now they can really isolate everything.
It feels like the 100 watt valve amplifier is really coming back over the last year or two, but not because people want to play loud, but because people have realised that sound, just that massive headroom, that massive bass end, even at relatively low volumes, if you don't have the power and the big transformer there, it's just all these little lunchbox amps, which are great fun, like MT15 and all the little tiny toes, great fun. There's just something. It doesn't breathe in the same way as the big amp. It's not a volume thing.
No, it's just a big. If you heard the MT15 next to the MT100, you'll hear the MT15 and be completely satisfied with it. Yeah. But as soon as you hear the MT100, it just fills that space. Like I said, that low end, that big. It's hard to explain. It's almost like going stereo from mono. That same kind of effect of something just bigger.
Yeah. So. Anything else, in terms of 2020? What are you looking forward to most?
2020 is just going to be a whole year of touring.
Still more touring?
Yeah, we're touring all through next year with this new record. I look forward to getting this MT100 out. I look forward to writing the next solo album, and I'm supposed to write some stuff with David Ellefson from Megadeth for his solo stuff. Okay.
The solo stuff, in fairness, the Tremonti solo stuff's been something that when I knew we were coming up to see you, I was thinking, everybody, will know the Creed and the Alter Bridge stuff. And I was playing that and I was going, I really like this. I really like your voice.
Thank you very much.
And it's a different, has a different vibe as well, doesn't it? It's
definitely different than Miles, for sure. Me and Miles are complete opposites, which I love what we do with the side projects, because his is so singer-songwriter-y, kind of almost like Bob Dylan meets David Bowie meets, I don't know, Zeppelin. Mine is more my speed metal roots, but with a melodic sensibility. But I sing like a caveman, and he sings like this trained.
I don't think you sing. Well, I know what you mean. You have a more gravelly voice, but it's a really great voice. I just like, I don't know, even the guitar playing on your own stuff, you seem to. It just has a different vibe to it. I guess that's
just
it's
untethered to anything. It's just it can, it's you write differently when it's. With Alter Bridge, I write something, I'm like, I hope the guys like it. I hope this goes this way or that goes this way. Maybe I'll take out this part because they're not going to like that. With Tremonti, I can do exactly what I want at any given time. And when you write that way, I think your imagination just opens a little more. And, you're not writing thinking of anything in particular.
Well, listen, I've got two other things to ask you. And one of them is a little bit embarrassing. Do any of the band, if you saw them from the back without a shirt on, have like diagonally kind of tattoos going down their back?
Diagonally tattoos?
Does Miles have that on his back?
No, I don't know if Miles has anything on his back. I think it's just tattoos around the shoulder blades.
If you want to ask, earlier on today, I was in this, your dressing room hallway, and I asked one of the security guys, I just said, is there a toilet around here I can use, please, like that? And one of the security guys said, yeah, you can't go in here, you have to go out. So I was like, okay, so I went out. And then another guy said, no, you can go in. It's just use this one here. And it was said Alter Bridge Showers.
Yeah.
So I come into the door, and it's a room a little bit like this one, and I'm looking, it doesn't really look like a toilet in here, but let me open the shower door. And I open the shower door, and I see the back of a butt-naked guy having a shower.
It could have been Barry. I think Barry has, the drummer from Shinedown, might have tattoos like that on his back.
Whoever has sort of diagonal, like me, kind of tattoos down his back. Oh, well, thank God.
That was actually the female tour manager. She's built a little rough.
Well, there you go. So if that was you, basically, that I interrupted rudely in the shower, I'm terribly sorry. Before the person even turned around, I'd run away. So, yeah, the other thing I think you should tell people about your memento of the tour.
My
your
wound,
wound
gosh.
here.
So when I'm in London, I'm running back and forth as quick as I can to get this done and that done, and I've got a 40-person clinic. And as everybody's pouring out of there, I've got my people saying, you got an interview, you got to do this, you got to do that. So I'm in a rush, so I take my guitar and throw it off real quick, and on the way up, I smash it right to above my eye, and that bone there just splits it, and I just start bleeding. And as I'm saying goodbye to people, this woman's like, you got blood going on here. I'm like, that's great to do right before the O2 show, but
I think it's a good look.
If the blood starts pouring, it'll be great during the show. It'll be rock and roll.
That's what I think. I think you should intentionally, just before the encore, go and open it.
Open it up a little bit. Then after the show, I'll be, what did you do, you idiot?
Yeah, that's how hard I rock it.
Yeah,
basically.
That's how hard I rock it.
Well, look, are you coming to the NAMM show, or is?
I hope so.
Okay, well, look, so maybe we'll see you there.
Yeah.
But look,
awesome.
Man, I really, really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Anyway, if you were here tonight, I hope you had a good show. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you later.
Awesome. Thank you.